Good morning. This is John Roberts with Dr. Ghetto Child. It's September 13th, Tuesday morning. This is the full-scale model of a pulp mill that I designed. I used to rebuild this mill every year, and this mill is used in the citrus industry, and it's known as a feed mill. This is an old unit. This is over 20 years ago. Modern technology have advanced so, but they still have the problem with the mills that they always have been having. They've been trying to come up with pump and peel and all of this right here. There's basic principles and theories that can be used in these mills from the old concept, the old school, and they kind of like got away from it. Now I got with Mr. Vincent down in Tampa, Florida, the designer of this old mill, the old style. But so many new manufacturers, they coming up with these new theories, and they don't understand the first concept, the first principle, because they could never get the bugs worked out of it. Well, I worked the bugs out of this one, and this was a 40,000 pound unit with a 6,000 pound evaporator, giving a total capacity of 100,000 pound total evaporation capacity, and it was a 40,000 unit, and I can outrun an 80,000 pound unit. And in other words, I could put as much product through it as I desired to until I would get total congestion to all the screw conveyors. And we even stepped up the step fans to give it more suction. We did modifications on it. I worked with a gentleman by the name of Jim from Tree Sweet, and Jim was a guru in the field. He was one of the best out there. And I had some training from Jim, unbeknown to the people I was working for. This plant here was that Calkins Indiantown Citrus Company in Indiantown, and I was working for some people that really didn't know anything about the operation, but I had mastered the operation, and I drove this to its capacity. I found out things about this unit that very people know to this very day that you can do with this. You can actually run peck and peel through it, but you can use Vincent have the presses that he come up with. We had a little something to do with that back in the years as far as idealism. This is an evaporator. It's a waste heat recovery system, really what it is, and you can utilize the energy, but the sensitivity control and the balance between the heat, the flow of the product, and the balancing between the sensors of your furnace is the key factor, and keeping H2O, which is water, out of the unit. And try your best to eliminate as much of bypass and fluctuation in the difference of the flow of your materials. It's a principal theory. I wish 1,000 times I could get back into this, but by me suing this company for discrimination based upon this. Now, I built this model out of my head. I used to rebuild this mill every year, so I didn't have any prints, anything to go by. This is the scale model of the actual mill when I was actually running it, but there was plenty of room to expand as far as modern technology, sensors to use, heat detectors, weight variable machines, metal detectors. There's a way to operate at a lower rate cost efficiency, and you can have better emissions, a cleaner run, based upon the calibration of the furnace itself. A lot to do with the furnace. There are 3 elements that you have to work with. That's preventing any excessive moisture from entering into your dryer system, being able to balance the heat and control it within 1 degree. A lot of people don't believe it, but you can, because you're going to be riding the variable line of a temperature drop and sustaining a non-temperature drop at all times by pushing it, okay? And the only way you can do this, you got to have an efficient run. It's very critical that the scrubber system is clean, that it's working right, that you don't get too many solids into your evaporators. You got to have a cleaning you got to have a cleaning program, and you got to have a system for your preheaters. The preheaters on the evaporator, it get congested first, okay? Therefore, then you begin to pick up these problems. You're gonna need thermostatic caps. You don't need the captive furnace over the top of the building because it's an open-end unit. If you do, you create a pressure vessel. You can make it flow through it. but you need a thermostatic cap, these type of devices, and you need automatic reflectors. There are other devices that you need, other units that you need with this unit to make this work efficiently as far as running Pectum, and you don't need all these volumes and volumes and volumes of water. I do know some things, and I do hope that someday my sons are coming up in the engineering, and we will be doing this at some day in time. I'm gonna leave this engineering idea with my son, pertaining to pulp mills. Palmer Tuthill is a gentleman out there that's very good in the field. He was to me the guru of feed mills. Not Vincent, but Palmer Tuthill were. I like to compliment Palmer today, and if he's still alive, Palmer. It was regrettable what I had to do, but especially with Palmer. But me and Palmer could do something to these mills today that would revolutionize the entire citrus industry and turn it to a multi-billion, it's already a multi-billion-dollar operation, but trillions, as to recovery for ethanol and this kind of thing. There's something we can do, simplify the method, and everybody's looking at it. But a person like me that's not a scientist, I don't have the international recognition, the nobody of the nobodies in their book, and they are idiots. They are idiots. They make these people spend millions and millions of dollars to come back, rip the systems back out because they listen to these idiotic ideas. And I do have the key to a lot of this, and I am going to give you my number. That if you decide that you want to talk to an idiot, you know, about the program, or someone that's equal to your idiocy, equivalent to your mind, give me a call. My number is 229-269-6262. I know some things about these mills. I'm a steel fabricator, and I can build anything here. I can design this mill. I can build this mill. I can do anything to this pulp mill. I can make it do what I want it to do, not what it like. And it's as simple as that. I carried this mill to its capacity. I was complimented by the owner of Gulf Machinery, Mr. Charlie Walker, for taking the machinery to the degree that it had never been taken before. And around my evaporator, the condensation was so great that my yard stayed wet like it was raining. Therefore, I was pushing it, a 40 running like twin 80s. And I could run in 6 hours what they would run in 32 hours through this unit. My conveyors would pack out, and I would have feed running on the floors from coming out when I go to push it just to see what I make it do. But my output side wasn't large enough for what I was putting out of it, so I had to scale it back down and get my operators to run within the limit. I had to go inside. I'm an industrial mechanic. I can rebuild or build anything here. Okay. With this being said, this is Doc with Doc Ghetto Child. I do have a vast knowledge of these pulp mills, and in the citrus industry with ethanol, this evaporator is a key factor. If we can get it to work according to, I know the principles and theories through experience. So you can hear this and believe it or not, through this and modern technology, and the things that I do know is that we can make this thing a workable deal. This is Doc with Doc Ghetto Child. Till next time.